Sometimes, letting go of someone you love feels harder than holding on. Not because they are still in your life, but because they still live in your mind. You move forward in days, but your emotions stay stuck in the past. And the question becomes, why is it so hard to let go? Part 1. Emotional attachment. The human mind does not easily forget emotional connection. When you bond with someone deeply, your brain links them to comfort, safety, and emotional stability. So when they leave, it doesn't feel like losing a person. It feels like losing a part of yourself. That is why even small memories can trigger strong emotions. A place, a song, a message, can bring everything back instantly. Letting go is not just about time. It is about emotional detachment. And that takes much longer than people expect. Part 2. The memory trap. One of the biggest reasons people can't let go is not love. It is memory. We don't remember relationships as they were. We remember them as we felt in the best moments. We replay the laughter, the care, the attention, the connection. But we often forget the pain that led to the separation. This creates emotional confusion. Because part of you knows it ended for a reason, but another part keeps chasing the good memories. And that internal conflict makes moving on feel impossible. Part 3. Emotional dependency. Sometimes, what we call love, is actually emotional dependency. It happens when someone becomes your main source of happiness. Your daily emotions become tied to their presence. So when they leave, life feels empty. Not because life has changed, but because your emotional balance depended on them. This is why people often say, I don't miss them. I miss how I felt with them. That feeling is powerful enough to hold someone in the past for a long time. Part 4. Fear of starting over. Another reason people struggle to let go is fear. Not fear of the person, but fear of starting again. Because starting over means rebuilding trust, opening up again, risking emotional pain again, so the mind chooses something familiar, even if it hurts. Because pain that is known feels safer than healing that is unknown. And that is where many people stay stuck emotionally. Between moving on and holding on. Part 5. Why letting go hurts so much. Letting go is painful because it feels like losing meaning. Not just the person, but the future you imagined with them. The conversations you thought would happen. The memories you thought you would create. The version of life you planned in your mind. When a relationship ends, you are not only grieving a person, you are grieving a future that will never exist. And that type of loss is one of the hardest for the human heart to process. Conclusion. But here is the truth most people realize too late. Letting go does not mean forgetting. It means learning to carry the memory without letting it control your emotions. Because one day, you will understand this. Some people are not meant to stay forever. They are meant to teach you something about yourself. And when the lesson is learned, peace slowly begins to replace pain. Part 6. Why no contact is so hard. One of the hardest parts of letting go is silence. No messages. No calls. No updates about their life. At first, silence feels peaceful. But later, it becomes loud. Because your mind starts filling the gap. You wonder what they are doing. You imagine if they miss you. You check your phone without thinking. You replay old conversations in your head. And even though nothing is happening anymore, your emotions are still active. This is why no contact feels like emotional withdrawal. You are not just removing a person. You are removing a habit your mind became attached to. And habits don't disappear quickly. They fade slowly. Through Part 7. The role of self-worth. Another hidden reason people struggle to let go is self-worth. Sometimes, it is not the person you miss. It is the validation they gave you. The feeling of being chosen. The feeling of being important. The feeling of being loved. When that disappears, it can create emptiness inside. And instead of healing that emptiness, people try to refill it with the same person. Even if it hurts them. But real healing begins when you understand this. You were never incomplete without them. You only felt that way because your emotions became attached to their presence. And slowly rebuilding self-worth is what frees you emotionally. Not replacing them, but rediscovering yourself. Part 8. Why time alone doesn't heal everything. People often say time heals everything. But time alone is not enough. Because time only moves forward. It does not fix emotional patterns. You can spend months, even years, still thinking about someone. Unless something changes inside you. What heals is understanding. Understanding why you felt so attached. Understanding what you were truly seeking. Understanding what the relationship taught you. Because when you understand the lesson, you stop repeating the pain. And that is when healing actually begins. Not when time passes, but when awareness grows. Part 9, the moment you finally start to heal. There comes a moment, quiet and unexpected, when you realize something important. You think about them, and it no longer feels like pain. It feels like memory. No anxiety. No longing. No emotional collapse. Just acceptance. And in that moment, you don't feel loss anymore. You feel clarity. You understand that everything you went through shaped you in ways you didn't see at the time. And slowly, you stop fighting the past. Final conclusion: letting go is not a single decision. It is a process. A slow emotional journey from attachment to understanding to peace. And even though it feels impossible at the beginning, one day, you will look back and realize you didn't lose them. You outgrew what you once needed. And that is how healing truly begins. Conclusion, final 40 to 60 seconds. Letting go is not a single moment. It is a journey. A slow process of understanding, healing, and emotional release. At first, it feels impossible. Then it feels painful. And eventually, it feels peaceful. Because with time and awareness, you begin to realize something important: you didn't lose them. You simply outgrew a version of life that was not meant to stay. And that is where healing truly begins. So if you are going through this right now, be patient with yourself. Don't rush your emotions. Don't force your healing. And don't think you are behind in life. Everything you are feeling is part of the process. And if this video helped you understand your emotions better, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more emotional storytelling and relationship insights. Because sometimes, the right words at the right time can change everything. Take care of yourself. And I'll see you in